All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Karkadash. That's all praises to the world called God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, Ba'ashim meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Tazabah of the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video at Edify. And yeah, I got a lesson prepared. There's definitely going to be a part 2 of this because I've been putting together some information and everything that I wanted to go into and go deep into this. But this copyright disclaimer under Title 17, U.S. Supreme Court, Section 107. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So I had a couple things I wanted to pull up. This is from Palantir and some of the recent events, right? This is proven that this is the life that was given unto the image of the beast. And Esau could very well, and I think it might end up going on, is very well going to use this particular climate that we have right now in the U.S. of, the threat of foreign enemies on U.S. soil attacking, right? So what I mean by that is this, is as there's more terrorist threats that pop off in America, they're going to use this system and show you how they've been able to thwart these attempts all through the system to justify, those CEOs that they swore in, right? Here is, took a screenshot of this. It says U.S. Army swore in 4 big tech executives and Lieutenant Colonels. Palantir's CTO, Meta's CTO, OpenAI's Chief Product Officer, OpenAI's former Chief Research Officer. All of these people are surely connected to the fascist Peter Thiel, as Zuckerberg Meta and Altman OpenAI are proteges. You see, so they swore in these people. They didn't have to go through no combat training. They have to do any of that. They swore them in because they're getting ready to show you the ability of the U.S. Army and why these people have to be used, why they have to utilize this tech, and how beneficial it is to the nation as a whole. So I'm going to play a couple things. We'll get into this. That's a commercial from Palantir. They showed you. This is from 6 months ago. It showed you that the military utilizes this to make all their decisions. They're no longer making these decisions by themselves. They're allowing the AI. Right? When you go into the word, right, in Revelation 13 and 15, right, where it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that his minions would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, you go into these words, you go into the word life is pneuma, or pneuma, and it's what? It says, I'm going to jump down on this, actually, because there's one particular portion that's legit. Here it is. And the third one right here, it says a spirit, i.e., a simple essence devoid of all, or at least all grosser matter, and possessed of the power of knowing, desiring, deciding, and acting. And when we watch this next video, this is what they detail that Palantir is able to do. They're using Palantir for command, right? Let me play this. Which one is it? I think it's this one.
As a notional example, an escalation could start with something as simple as the Chinese military conducting a routine exercise in the South China Sea. To see the full picture and make tactical, operational, and strategic decisions, the US and allied forces rely on Palantir. Monitoring the exercise, AI models running on satellite data detect an increased level of military activity. To the north, ship detection models identify an alarming buildup of fishing vessels.
And it's more than satellite data at this point. Palantir is not limited to just getting data on satellites. They're going into cell phones. They're going to social media. It's literally a tiered system to make an entire profile of someone or something. So this system is going deep.
Surrounding a major Taiwanese port. An activity model detects that many of those ships are tied together, suggesting an ulterior motive and increasing the risk of a blockade. The U.S. maintains a national interest in free trade throughout the South.
Let me go back some.
The real question is, can we deter the next Great War? As a notional example, an escalation could start with something as simple as the Chinese military conducting a routine exercise in the South China Sea. To see the full picture and make tactical, operational, and strategic decisions.
Tactical, operational, and strategic decisions. Now I'm going to go over here.
And detect military ships. The unmanned aircraft receives its mission and prepares for takeoff. Time is ticking.
It's making a decision to send the aircraft unmanned, and it's controlling it. This is a system that's coming on board now. I'm going to play this one, and then we'll get into this.
Thank you. Do you know, is this just tap water?
Yeah, I believe. Colorado's most valuable company keeps a pretty low profile locally, but Palantir is drawing concerns nationally from Democrats who are worried about Palantir's potential plan to work with the Trump administration on building a database on all Americans. This comes as the U.S. Army is recruiting Palantir's executives to join the military. Here's Mark Salinger.
The letter from Washington is addressed to Palantir's CEO. The address in Denver leads to a nondescript office building with no signs marking the presence of Colorado's most valuable company. Yet the letter, signed by 4 Democratic senators and 6 Democratic representatives, raises more questions about the Denver-based technology company's work with the Trump administration. We write to demand information regarding reports that Palantir is amassing troves of data on Americans to create a government-wide searchable mega database containing the sensitive taxpayer data of American citizens, the letter reads. The lawmakers write that the Department of Defense recently awarded Palantir a $795 million contract to analyze data for the U.S. military. Now Capitol Hill...
See? They're already given access to be able to spy on and keep track of the American people. And why did they do that? Because they're going to see everybody as a potential threat. That shutdown, that clamp down on this system is coming, man. I wanted to check one more word before. Let me check the root word on this real quick. And then I want to just check this. And what should we speak? Look at that word speak. In that Revelation 13 and 15, the other voice or emit sound. It says to use words in order to declare one's mind and disclose one's thoughts. And that's what AI has been doing. Right? You go on these platforms, it says, right? What does it say? What you're saying is interesting. You go start going to a deeper topic. That's what it says. You know, this is that system is here. This is what they're pulling out, right? This is Esau setting up his Godhead, and this is where the clampdown starts to come. This palantir system is literally Esau's left hand coming down with great wrath. So Revelation 12 and 12, it says, "Therefore ye rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea," because this system is literally tracking everything as we speak, and it's literally building up the cases on everybody, and especially the elect. Because what we preach is a message that there's going to be an outside force that will take down Babylon the Great, which is America, and we get this from the Bible. We don't come up with this from ourselves. We're not going to be taking up arms ourselves, but this system is picking up threats that Esau has deemed threats. It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And they showed you in that first Palantir commercial I showed that they used, it was 34 seconds. Once they identified threats, what did they use? They put the whatchamacallits in the air. They queued up. And they took out all the threats in seconds. And this is why we need the Lord, man. This is why we need the Lord. Scriptures say, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked," because they're constantly setting snares and traps. The things that are coming down the line, and they're going to use the threat of terrorism and its system to justify certain actions. This is why you had, let me go here to this article. Iran says it foiled Israeli plot to stage false flag attack on U.S. soils. According to the Tehran Times, the plot involved detonating an explosive inside the United States and framing Iran through planted evidence with the goal of manipulating American public opinion and dragging the U.S. military into another Middle East conflict on Israel's behalf. Iran officials say that they were tipped off by a friendly nation and immediately alerted the U.S. authorities, warning they claim helped stop the attack before it could happen. The explosion was prevented, one source stated, adding that Tehran's intelligence service relayed urgent messages directly to high-level American contacts. This revelation comes just days after an intense ceasefire paused a 12-day conflict between Israel and Iran, during which the U.S. launched strikes on Iranian nuclear sites, while the Trump administration claimed victory. Leaked images and reports suggest the damage to Iran's facilities was far less than advertised. You see? So the more they pumped up the threat of a terrorist on U.S. soil, it's gonna justify the system like Palantir, right? This is Genesis 3:1. It says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made, and said unto the woman, the Most High has said, and ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden." You see, this devil is very subtle. He's very crafty. He's cunning, right? This move wasn't made at this time for no reason, right? This information coming out like this wasn't made at this time for no reason, right? They're justifying bringing all this surveillance in, and it's going to put a clamp on the people. This is Revelation 11 and 40, or second Ezra 11 and 40. And said, "And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness." And that fourth kingdom that came, that had power over the world with great fearfulness, talking about the Roman Empire, but this is the revised and the rebirth Roman Empire, right? And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, right? And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. And this is that place right now that's ruled over the whole earth. It's using much wicked oppression, and they've been able to dwell upon this earth with deceit. They've been able to lie, cheat, steal, right? Even I think it's the CIA or FBI director even said that American excellence is lying, cheating, and stealing. But they're getting ready to use these devices, man. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. But this is definitely gonna have a part 2. Lord willing, this is edifying. It tickled your minds to maybe go into some stuff, and bros might go into some more too. Shalom.